Hey guys, we are pleased to say that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation charity. And now, a message from one of our supporters.
Hi there, this is a message for Sylvia and the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. My name is Kate and I actually work professionally with victims of crime, specifically children and young people. So I just wanted to come and say that I think the work that you do in schools around like education for young people around differences, I think is really, really valuable and helps for people, for young people to understand that not everybody's the same and sometimes people could look different and it doesn't warrant them to be treated in any way than they would like to be. So I just wanted to come and say thank you very much for everything that you do. I think your work is really great. So yeah.
To learn more about this wonderful charity, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey Jamie, do you like being cozy?
I do.
And do you like staying cozy?
I like that even more.
Then just heading over to www.staycozyclothing.com,
where you can find hoodies, tees, sweaters, and much, much more, with the brand new fall line available now.
And just enter the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order.
And make sure you follow them on the Instagram at Stay Cozy Clothing to keep up to date with all the new designs.
Remember, guys, that's the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order.
Ladies and gents, today we have a very special guest with us. It's no secret that me and Tom are a part of the alternative community. And in 2007, a horrific event occurred that shook not only the alternative community, but the world to its core, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Robert Maltby were attacked simply because they looked different. Sadly, Sophie didn't survive this attack and left us 13 days later. Here to talk all about her daughter Sophie and the wonderful work she does with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, we welcome Sylvia Lancaster.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure, as said before. But Sylvia, I think we should get to the hard-hitting stuff straight away. How's your pandemic season been? How's your last 18 months been?
Oh, well, I've just got quite used to it, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I spent a lot of time on YouTube.
Nice.
And reading, so
What?
Yeah, I've just got quite used to it, really.
That's what we watch on YouTube, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh, God. I watch lots of, this is going to sound bonkers. Can I call us all dogs? I like that.
Okay.
And Super Nanny and anything about royalty I watch a lot of.
Okay. Nice.
Good old Super Nanny, I forgot about her.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed that.
She tried to take over America, I think, at one point.
Oh, that's what I've been watching, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
She was the one that introduced like the naughty step to everyone, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember her. I remember watching them and thinking, if my kids behave like this, I'll just give up and walk. Just no.
Yeah, they're horrible, some of them, aren't they?
They really are.
Oh.
Right. Before we talk about all the amazing work you've done, I wondered if we could just get a better understanding of Sophie as a person. Because, everything you hear about Sophie is about what happened. And I'd just like to know more about Sophie as a person. What was she like? What were like her passions and stuff like that?
Oh, she was a strange one, really. Let's put it that way. From being tiny, from being little, very what's the word? She always not wanted her own way, but believed in what she was saying. So even when she was tiny, you're not putting that coat on me because you can't make me. All right then. And she was always very shy, actually, quite an introvert, I think, being truthful, when she was at primary school. And she didn't have a lot of friends either, because she just liked what she liked, and she would very often didn't like what mainstream children liked, I think, really is the truth. And once again, she was another one. She spent a lot of time reading, listening to music, And then obviously once she got into secondary school, which was a lot better for her, because then she met people like herself, really. And that helped an awful lot, I think, to bring her out of that quite deeply introverted, really. And I think it brought her out of that, because she realised then she wasn't on her own. So once she hit secondary school, that started the process, I think, really, when she began, obviously, to develop who she was. And that was quite interesting to watch that process going on. She, I remember her, she'd be about 12, and she'd gone to her best friend's house over the summer and hadn't come home, actually, for about 6 weeks.
Oh, my days.
I know. And when she came home, she dyed her hair, and she had a dog collar on, and round her wrists, etc. And I can just remember her walking past the kitchen window and me looking at her and thinking, oh, wow, she looks great. She looks like herself, is the reality. You know, she had that courage and that strength to then start to show her individuality, really, which was lovely to see. Because obviously you just want your kids to be happy, don't you?
Absolutely.
And if that made her happy, that was fine.
Yes.
I love that.
My dad always told me that if I was cleaning toilets with a toothbrush, but as long as I was happy doing it, he didn't give a shit.
I love that though, because I was going to ask, like, what did you think of like the more alternative gothic look that she took on? Because I remember, like, I'm literally 4 months older than Sophie. And I remember, like, if I'd go to my mate's house, you'd have a mix of comments. You'd have some parents are like, you look great. And then you'd go, bloody leave in the house dressed like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's nice. It's lovely to hear that, you know, you're like, I love this. She looks happy. This is how she wants to look. Oh, brilliant. Love it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I just admired her, really, that she, you know, managed to get the, I'm going to say, no, I won't say it. But she did have that confidence to be able to be who she was, and that was great.
I love that. So obviously, you know, with what happened, there was a lot of comments made towards Sophie and Robert. Were these comments like a regular part of her life because of her appearance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
From being about 12, really, there were always comments made about them. And if you went out with Rob and Sophie together, you know, I would hear comments about them. And I think, oh my God, what do they have to put up with if I'm not with them? You know, it's bad enough being a parent with them and the people are just calling them. So what do they put up with when they're on their own?
Well, exactly. It pisses me off no end
that
people feel the need to have to get their 2 pence in. Oh, I feel wonderful. I've just called them a dirty little grebo. Oh, I feel great now. I can go and live. Yeah, I never understand it. Never understood it, because I used to get it all the time as well. So, you know, because I used to be like the emo kid back. I used to have the hair and everything. I've got no hair now, but I was relishing it while I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But like, just the unnecessary, it's just so unnecessary. I've never understood it. But I mean, now that I'm older, like, I don't get it so much now, which is quite weird. But I know I've got friends, obviously, they've got like face tattoos and stuff that get bombarded by, like, even the elderly do it. Like, you know, why have you got all that rubbish on your face? You know, what's all this about? Yeah. Only people just trying to express themselves, trying to show this is who I am. And for some reason, people don't like it. And I don't know what sort of threat they pose. Like, you know, I'm just dressed in black and red or black and, or just black, you know, I've got, like, she had dreadlocks and all sorts of, like, what threat is she posing to anybody exactly? Could you please,
absolutely, you
know, can you explain that to me, please? Like, why? I've never understood it.
No, I don't understand it, full stop. And I don't know what gives people the right. They think they have a right to say whatever they want. Well, actually, you don't, mate.
No,
you don't.
So I used to get it myself. I remember, I'll never forget being stopped by someone, just pointed at me and went, oh my gosh, and then carried on walking. I was like, that was kind of hilarious, but what?
I'm sorry. But yeah, but I remember I remember back to 2007. I remember where I was. I remember when that story came on the news and how much and how deeply that affected, me personally. I imagine loads of people around the UK, around the world. Just, I never forget. I remember ringing my mum, being like, "Have you heard about this story?" And I remember just bursting into tears because of obviously, you can't put it into words.
No, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Into an alternative anybody.
And what if, I know it's all hindsight and what ifs and stuff like that, but what if they had been a couple minutes earlier, or what if they'd gone a different way?
I know.
But,
lots of what ifs, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Sylvia, I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. Really.
Thank you.
I know it's 14 years on, but still, I love that she's still in the forefront. It's still talking about her, like it's still a massive story now. And I love that, her name will be in lights for, forever.
I think so. Which is really quite shocking, to be honest, because when you first start off, you think, oh, well, it'll probably run for about 12 months, 2 years. So now to be 14 years on, and people, like you said, are still talking about it is amazing, really.
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
But back to these comments and stuff like that, people, how did Sophie handle them, to your knowledge? Did she just laugh them off, or did they actually get to her?
No, she did laugh them off, which I was quite shocked at, really. Because of her personality, I would have thought she would have gone the other way and felt quite deeply, but she didn't. She just said, "Oh, they're idiots," and dismissed it as that. And there again, I think, sadly, I think a lot of people who are alternative think that that's part and parcel of their lives anyway. They're bound to get cold, so they've got to put up with it. No, you don't, actually. No, you don't have to put up with it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't say anything back. Like you feel like you can't really retaliate in any way, shape or form, because, especially this day and age now, where you've got all like transgender, non-binary people as well. So like the world is so different now, like crazy how different everything is. And yet people still can throw whatever they want and say whatever they want at people.
Yeah.
Like, you've got all that, the suicide rates are absolutely massive at the moment, and just just be nice to each other. Why can't people just be nice to each other?
Yeah, it's not too difficult, is it, at the end of the day?
It really is not.
It is not.
So obviously August 11th, 2007, the horrible attack occurred. I don't want to dwell on it and talk about that night too much. I'm imagining you've told this story a million times now. It's not something. But I did want to ask, how long after the attack did you find out about what happened?
I found out the next morning.
Oh, wow.
And that's because I'd moved and nobody knew where I lived. So it took the police a few hours to find out where I lived, actually. And that was done by contacting an ex-boyfriend of Sophie's, who contacted Sophie's uncle, who then contacted me. So it went along those lines. So I didn't get to know about it actually till a few hours after.
Damn.
So you said you'd moved away. Were you still living in, is it Backup? What's it called? Yeah.
No, I've never lived in Backup. And people always think that I did, but I didn't. And we live in Haslingden, which is one side of the Rossendale Valley from Backup. But Rob's parents lived in Backup.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was that relationship really there.
Do you still have much contact with Rob?
No. Yeah, no, once he'd sorted himself out, bless him, and got himself better and in a better place, it's not for me to keep pulling him back.
Well, no, I understand.
It isn't. That's the reality. He needs to be getting on with his life. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I see him or whatever, we have a good old chat and whatever. But no, I think Rob lives in Manchester now anyway.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
there was a story recently I read, I think it was from The Guardian, where he said that it wasn't so much a hate crime, so much more of a, these people were just out. What, obviously, why we're not asking the question of why these people just murdered somebody. Like, how did that make you feel to read that?
I must admit I was pretty annoyed at that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lack of understanding and a lack of knowledge, I think, there.
Yeah.
Because the big thing was, when they took Rob's phone, they rang Rob and Sophie's friend and said, "Oh, have you got mates who are moshes? Well, we've just left." You can't be calling people moshes and whatever else and get away with it. So that's why it was called a hate crime, because of the language that the perpetrators used.
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't addressed.
Wow, I had no idea that they'd phoned their friends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh. So, obviously, 13 days after the attack, you had to make the horrible decision to turn off Sophie's life support. But at what point after the attacks did you get the idea to start this foundation?
This is going to sound really weird. I suppose it is a bit weird. But because of the job that I did, and I worked in high schools, etc., and worked on one-to-ones with young people who were having problems in school, and it became very obvious that there was a division in young people. There was and it was chavs at that particular time, and the moshes and whatever else you want to call them. And I always vividly remember one young lad saying to me, "Oh, what did he say now? Oh, I don't like them," he said, "because they're Satanists." Hold on a minute.
What?
Mind yourself back. Oh, God, yeah. What do you mean they're Satanists? Well, that's because of music they listen to. And I just remember listening to him talk, thinking, what the hell? Then you're out with Sophie and Rob and you're hearing people's comments. Hold on a minute. My daughter deserves to walk down the street without people looking at her like whatever and having all these horrible comments. I need to do something. And I remember, obviously, once again, because of the job that I did, we then became a hate crime reporting centre. So I had done a little training on hate crime. And I vividly remember the 5 strands coming up, and I always get it wrong. So it's disability, race, transgender, disability, and religion. And I remember thinking, oh my God, the alternatives come under that. They have a shared norms and values. They share the same culture. They've got to put up with, on a daily basis, probably people's intolerance and prejudice. Well, that should be an hate crime. And I just remember thinking like that. And that would probably be about 3 or 4 months before Sophie and Rob's attack.
Wow.
So, yeah, it were always there. And then obviously when Sophie died, that was the kickstart of it. Well, I'm not having this anymore. Why should people have to put up with this? And that's really how it started.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing to hear that, you'd already had this idea before the attacks even happened. It's quite nice as someone who grew up like in that alternative community. It's nice to know there was someone out there that realized that, we should be looking after these people.
Absolutely. And that was a big thing for me. So, and sadly, once, this is horrible to say, but once you're in the position of myself when Sophie died, you're actually given a platform, whether you want that platform or not. And what you can then do at that stage is step back and think, I don't want anything to do with this, and just get on with your life. Or you think to yourself, I've got a platform and I've got to use it, and it's got to be used properly. And so that's what happened.
And 14 years on, here you are still going strong.
I know, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Absolutely incredible.
You sound surprised by it yourself then.
Yeah, definitely. Flipping heck.
So what was the original plan for the charity then? What were you hoping to achieve? Was it literally just raising awareness and getting alternative put in that category as a hate crime?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was definitely our main criteria. And obviously, because I've been a youth worker for a long while, it's about getting into schools and talking to young people, because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back, you know, from violence and prejudice and whatever. And it's as simple as that, really.
It's crazy. It's almost like you feel that when kids are at school, they feel they have to choose a side almost. There's no, I feel like, you know, they feel like it's like, oh, well, I listen to rap music and I like, you know, I like going out to the park. So I'll join the Chav side. Oh, I like Limp Bizkit and Korn, and I like, you know, to dress different. I obviously got to go and join this. It's really weird how there's almost no, like, I say it's not really not a lot of individuality anymore. Like there is, but there isn't. Does that make sense? I think I'm confusing myself.
I agree with you there. I know what you're saying, and it's true.
Yeah, it's almost like, oh, well, I've got to join some sort of side, gang or crew or you know, group of people, because I want to feel like I belong.
Yeah, absolutely, and that I think is the biggest part of it, isn't it? You're happy to belong to this group or that group, and So.
But I also saw that Simon Armitage wrote a poetic piece called Black Roses, dedicated to Sophie, and obviously how was that for you? Did he approach you? Like, how did this come about?
Once again, in very early days, Simon contacted me and wanted to do a television program, I think with Brian Hall, and they couldn't get the funding.
Okay.
So probably about another 12 months later, he contacted me again and said, look, I'd like to write some poetry and do a radio show. And him and his wife, Sue Roberts, who's the head of BBC drama, radio drama, came to talk to me and we discussed it. And so that's how that one went, yeah.
How? What did you think of it when it was all? Because it won awards, didn't it? It won.
It won quite a lot.
Yeah, I saw that it was listed for a Ted Hughes, and it won Best Radio Speech Program in 2011.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and the guy who did the cinematography, he won an award. Julie won an award for Best Actress in Manchester, etc.
Oh, of course, they went to theatres, didn't it? And then became a movie or BBC film, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. I love it. This is what I mean by like it's still in the forefront. People are still talking about it, like creating all these documentaries and TV shows, and it's in theatre, it's on radio. Like I love it so much.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Black Roses actually has been a big part of the work that we've done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we take it into schools, etc., and the kids watch it, and then I do a Q&A with them.
Oh wow.
So that's been it's been eye-opening actually to use it.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And obviously Simon's poetry,
top dollar.
Yeah. Well, he's now poet laureate.
Is it what?
He's now poet laureate.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
So one of my favorite things that you do with the foundation is the fact that you go to schools and, you know, the fact that you educate the youth to stop this happening again. Because let's be honest, the 5 idiots that did this, they were kids.
Yeah.
The oldest one was 16, if memory serves.
I think one was 17, but...
It was one 17, sorry.
Yeah.
But essentially, they're kids. So,
it was shocking to see them. I've got to say, that first day, oh my God, they were tiny.
I can only imagine.
Tiny kids. What the hell?
Insane.
So how are these workshops generally received? And what exactly do you do in these workshops?
Okay, this is a very short version of what we do. Okay, we've got 2 sets of cards, black cards and red cards. There's 30 of them, and they've all different people on. We've just updated them, by the way. So they've all sorts of different people on. They've got goths, washers, our Sophie, disabled people, whatever. And people who are gay, trans, whatever. And we say to the kids, look at those 30 cards, work together as a team. We put them onto different tables. You're in a very safe space here. You say whatever you want. Tell the truth. Now, pick 5 people out of those cards, and you've got to discuss it. Who you'd want to spend time with. And they do that. And now you write your reasoning down, and they do that. Now, pick the 2 people out of those cards that you don't want to spend any time with. And 99.9% it's our Sophie and Phil, who's proper goth. Yeah, long hair, makeup, tats. And they hate him with a passion. Absolutely can't stand him. It doesn't matter which school we're going to. Singing schools just outside of Manchester, posh private schools in Fleetwood. It's always the same. And what they say about him is he's a demon, he's a paedophile, he's a murderer. Oh, God, yeah, you want to hear it. And the other one is our Sophie. God. And that's because she looks like a druggie. She looks like a troublemaker. She'd smash that bottle in your face for 50p. Oh, and now she's a murderer. So, whoa, let me tell you, they do not hold back. But that's what we want.
I was going to say it's kind of good that they don't hold back, but at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How do we deal with it if they're going to lie?
Oh, yeah, true.
Exactly, you know, we need to be working with the truth. So that's what happens. And then obviously it's about talking to them about whatever. And then we give them the red cards with the same photographs. But what they have on the red cards is what people's interests are, what they're doing and whatever. And I was Sophie's like a first aider, a youth worker and whatever. And Phil supports Manchester United and is a welder. Now, does that make a difference to you when you see what they do? No.
Nope.
But it's really interesting to discuss with them. And you can imagine the topics of conversation that come up.
I imagine the supporting Man United thing is quite a big one as well.
Yes. Well, yeah. Some of them do change their mind on that one. I do have to say. They do. But it's quite intense conversations really with them. And I'll tell you what, a couple of years ago, we'd been down, I don't know where I were, we're on the services in Staffordshire. And I held the door open for a lad who was walking at the back of me. And I said to him, oh, thank you. And he went, no, I should thank you. And I looked at him. I said, what do you mean? He said, I heard you in my school 2 years ago. He said, I've never forgotten what you said.
No.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And you just think, oh my God.
That's amazing.
I just, whoa. Yeah. That means everything.
It just shows the work you do, Sylvia, is making a massive difference.
It just was unbelievable.
You know, even if it's touching 4 people, 6 people, 8 people, whatever, like
absolutely
phenomenal.
Start to them because they tell their friends and then they tell their friends and so on and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far around the country have you been doing this?
Oh, all over. We've worked in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Sweden. Where else have we been?
Really?
Germany.
That's amazing.
Sweden, Germany. Where else have we been? Norway. I can't remember where else I've been, but I've been in 2 places.
That's incredible.
That is amazing. I love that it's spreading far and wide as well. That's just incredible. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is there anything that you'd like to try and do going forward in regards to education? Because I can't, this is going to sound really cynical of me, but I can't help but wonder if maybe we should be helping educate the parents as well.
Oh,
because let's be honest, that's where they're probably hearing these things in the first place, the kids.
Yes, obviously. And what we do have is a primary resource as well. And as part of that resource, we ask kids where they get the knowledge from. And obviously, the first one is parents and the second is media. So that's quite interesting. But we're only a little charity, so we can't do the parents as well. I mean, we do if we can. And I do conferences, etc., where obviously everybody's adult. The only problem being with that is the people who are in the conferences are people who believe what we're saying. Yeah.
I was just going to say, those are the people that specifically gone there. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be on the other side. That's where the work needs doing. But we have worked in prisons. And, that's been brilliant. I like it in prisons, actually. I don't want to stay there, but I like it. I don't know bad, we done that. No, but they're just so honest and open. And I think we need to do more prisons.
Agreed.
Definitely,
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
And there's got to be a way that you can reach parents, people that aren't already of the same community.
Absolutely.
To be able to chat with them, because I'd be really interested to find out why, how they're teaching their kids and whatnot, and why they believe. And
why people believe in what they believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be interesting, that.
It's not like you're trying to influence anybody anyway. It's just when you want to find out why and understand.
Yes.
Some people work, like I said before, everyone's just be nice to each other. Just be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's so unnecessary. There's no need for it anymore. We know it's 2021. Can we grow, can we grow up a bit now and get past it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were awarded an OBE for your work, is that right?
Yes.
That's incredible. How was that? That must have been very surreal.
It was. I got a phone call one Friday afternoon from a bloke with a really posh voice.
Oh.
And he went, Mrs. Lancaster, this is David Cameron's office. What? What? And then he said, we'd like to reward you with an OBE. Oh, all right. What? All right then. So they're all a bit bizarre. And you never like to tell anybody. So I couldn't tell anybody.
Oh, that's rubbish.
Yes, we're all a bit odd, really.
Did you believe it was real? Did you actually believe it was genuine?
No, I didn't know. I thought whoever it were on the phone were taking the... Yeah. No, we're all a bit odd. And I'd moved and they couldn't find me once again, and they couldn't find me. That was even worse. I'm thinking, I don't believe this. Why is David Cameron ringing me? But there you go.
That's another thing you need to keep teaching prisons, like how to hide your tracks, being impossible to find.
I seem to be doing it. I will.
I can't imagine that. It's like, so this really big news. It's an amazing honor, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like I'm gonna go put the kettle on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I better
move.
move.
That was a good 6 months before it was in the press.
Oh, 6 months. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
I probably would have forgot about it myself by then.
You know how difficult that would be. Oh, wow.
I love that. It's like some weird person's calling me. I think I better move.
This is why I hide my tracks, Mr. Cameron.
But how amazing that Bloodstock Festival named their second stage after Sophie, and it's still called that now. Again, another massive piece of her memory. She's phenomenal. And then you get to go and take stalls to download and Rebellion Festival as well. Like, that must be so much. Do you get to go every year?
Yes.
That must be so much fun going.
Oh, it is. It is.
Absolutely incredible.
Just talk to people. People at the grassroots level, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it.
Do you have people like
we haven't been this year, but we're back again next year.
That's amazing. Do you have people like coming up to you and sort of opening their hearts and telling you their like personal stories?
Oh yeah,
they've been through.
Yeah. It's good. And it's interesting just to know, and once again, it's about that understanding of what people have to put up with and what people go through. And very often, what irritates me is they don't do anything about it. Which is really quite frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I was going to ask, because obviously I'm not part of that. I don't dress like that anymore. So I don't really see that. But is it still a thing that's happening now? People are getting horrible things shouted at them because they dress off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking to think that people are still going through it.
I'll tell you what, we once did some work with a police force, and I can't remember which one it was. And the guy who was a sergeant stood up there in front of all his colleagues and broke down in tears and told people how he felt because he was a mosher and the abuse he received. I mean, that was unbelievable as well. You know, and how brave was he?
It's a fair play to that man.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was just devastated. And I just remember looking at him and thinking, you poor soul.
Yeah, like the massive impact of this stuff on people's mental health as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Like, I can't put it into words. Like, why people feel the need. Like, do they go home and feel better about themselves? They brag to their mates that they managed to like make someone feel like shit. Do they like? I can't understand it. I can't fathom it in my own brain.
No. And actually, I suppose we're better that we can't understand it.
Well, exactly, yeah. Absolutely. Shows we're brought up. Thanks, Mum. Brought up right. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I did like, we have to just, talk about the impact that Sophie's passing had on the world, especially the alternative community. Because, like I said, as Tom said earlier, I still remember it so clearly. And I think because I'm only 4 months older than Sophie as well, it was like, that could have been me.
Oh, absolutely.
And still to this day, I've got so many friends that wear the Sophie wristband.
Yeah.
Like, I know tons. I saw a friend literally 2 days ago that was wearing one. I used to have one. I don't know where it went. I really should get a new one. So, but after the attack, so many tributes happened. Like, I read there was a bench that was put at Whitby Goth Festival.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Charity concerts in the hometown where it happened. The play, which we already discussed. There was a BBC drama that I watched yesterday, Murdered for Being Different.
Yeah, that won a BAFTA.
Yeah. Songs like We Are the Others by Delane, which is a beautiful song and a beautiful video to go along with it as well.
Yeah.
And as we said about the Bloodstock stage, and I'm sure there's absolutely a ton that we've missed. But how many of these things are you involved in? Or is it people just reaching out and going, Sylvia, we've done this?
Early days, we used to set them up ourselves. But obviously, as time went on and we became busier in schools, etc., we don't have the time to do that now, unfortunately. So now really it's people getting in contact and say, do you mind if I do this? Can I do that? Can I do that? And that's great. So,
What did you think of the documentary Murdered for Being Different? Were you involved?
Yes, yeah. I thought it was brilliant. I've got to say, I enjoyed it. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed that. Yeah, but no, I didn't really. The fact that it came from Rob's perspective rather than mine, I quite enjoyed that aspect of it, because then people got to see the other side as well. Because at the end of the day, it weren't just me, for God's sake. It devastated him, his injuries, etc. So, I did quite enjoy that. And they were very good with the directors and the actors and whoever else to keep us informed and involved really throughout the whole of the process.
That's good.
I was wondering where the character of you was when I was watching it, and I was like, no, I see what they're doing. They're doing this from Rob's point of view.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of I felt very emotional watching it. I felt very angry watching it as well.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that was like, if only I was walking past that park, like it's almost like I wanted to step in. It was really weird. I felt myself being like, oh, I wish I was there, even though I don't live anywhere near there. Like, I just turned up and been like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't know. It's really weird. It's such a weird, like, I felt like I wanted to jump in and help out. Like, it was devastating. Absolutely. It's incredible documentary. Incredible.
Yeah.
Obviously not in a weird sense. Like you said, like you enjoyed it, but obviously didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Like to fathom this as well. But yeah, I thought it was a fantastic piece. Like really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it hit me completely where,
it got me right in the
feels.
As well.
Yeah.
The amount of times I shouted the C word at the Chav characters in that bro. The wife was just sat there, with her headphones in, doing overtime for work, and she was like, "What are you shouting?" I was like, "TV." Like, just look at them, horrible little.
Yeah.
Just quickly, have you ever met any of the five?
No.
Never had any alternate. Oh, because three of them been released now. Because I noticed the manslaughter, one's the manslaughter charges. I wasn't sure if maybe you'd ever had any interaction.
Ryan Herbert's on his way out. He's in open prison now. And Brendan Harris is once again appealing.
How do you appeal that?
God knows. Just bloody take what you know what I mean. Take it like a man, mate. You act like a man supposedly that night, then take your punishment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh. Before we wrap up, though, I did want to discuss, because quite recently, Coronation Street did a storyline with their characters, Nina and Seb. You were involved in this, is that right?
Yeah.
So how did this come about, and what involvement did you have?
Right. What happened was, once again, bizarre email. Right, from Coronation Street.
I better move again.
Yeah, it's saying where I am, mate. No, that hasn't been. And our Adam, I hadn't seen it. Our Adam rung me and he went, Mum, you've got an email from Coronation Street. What the hell? Oh, all right then. And they just said, we're contacting you because we'd like to do Sophie's story as a hate crime. We're looking at hate crime. We want to do Sophie's story. We come and talk to us, so we did. Went down for a meeting and discussed what we want. And then obviously I've spoken to work with Molly and Harry. So yeah. And Ian, who is Julie Hesmondhalsha's husband, writes for Coronation Street, and Julie and Ian are patrons of the charity. So there's always been really a link with Corrie in one way or another.
Yeah, that's amazing. My mum actually messaged me because she wanted to ask a question or two, if that's okay, in regards to Coronation Street. She said that has the storyline with Nina and Seb helped to bring this sort of hate crime into the public domain more?
Oh, definitely. I tell you, it's been quite shocking. I got into a taxi last week, and the guy said to me when I got in, he went, "Do you get asked for your autograph now that you're famous?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at him, thinking, "What the hell is he talking about?" So I'm frowning, and he went, "Coronation Street." I thought, "Oh God." So I thought, I'm not telling him, but yeah, all right then. So yeah, it's been quite. And then Adam went to had installed a comic festival over the weekend in Bridlington, and he was saying how many people said they'd seen it on Coronation Street. So it's definitely heightened the profile.
Good.
Yeah, which is definitely good.
That's absolutely.
The more information we get out there about hate crime, the better that one is. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. How is Adam? How is he taken? Like, what's he doing in regards to the charity and stuff like that?
Oh, our Adam works for us, and he now does the educational games in resource in schools, and obviously he's got 2 children. So.
Oh, incredible. Yeah,
so he's pretty cool, is our Adam.
Yeah. Excellent. That's good to hear. And also, in regards to Corrie, I will shut up about it in a second, I promise you. She also asked me that, because Molly Gallagher obviously won an NTA award for her performance portraying her, and she mentioned you in her acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Like, how did that make you feel? That must have been incredible, again, because that's a huge award ceremony for the whole of the UK. So
yeah,
that must have felt amazing.
Once again, I had a phone call from a bloke, and he went,
"You found me again.
Are you proud of what your daughter's done?" So I've got the phone and I'm thinking, what the hell? He said, "Oh, Molly Gallagher's just won an NTA." So quickly, we should get the telly on to watch. I thought, oh wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Molly.
What an absolute hero. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But again, it's all in the forefront again. It's still being talked about. The story, it's beautiful. The work you're doing, Sylvia, is out of this world.
Thank you.
I think you're quite an inspiration, to be honest. I really do. I think you're a massive inspiration, that you offer the training to all the professionals as well. That you're getting in schools, the work that you're doing, and that her name still lives on. I think it's phenomenal. And I really, really hope that you keep up the incredible work that you do.
Oh, thank you.
And that it expands and expands and keeps going. And it keeps going.
Yeah, absolutely. Americanettes.
The fact that you've managed to get laws changed is phenomenal. You are sort of like the fairy godmother of the alternative community. That's how I'm seeing it. It's just, you're looking out for us all.
Oh, thank you.
So what events have you got coming up with the foundation? I believe I read something about changing perspectives.
Oh, I don't know. No, see, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I read that wrong.
All right. I don't know.
Someone's leaking info, Sylvia. Someone's leaking info.
Absolutely.
They found me.
Yeah. Because you got to where I am. That's what it is. Oh, dear.
But yeah, what events have you got coming up?
Oh, we've got one over the weekend. Our Adam and his missus and the kids are going, actually.
Oh, awesome.
They're going camping and having a stall, and I don't know what it's called, I've forgotten. Why not? Well, good luck to Adam and them going there. Obviously, we've got Love Make a Noise in November. I've just been rung up a couple of weeks ago about another documentary.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I know. So we're still, we're busy. We just want to get into schools, and then next year, hopefully, we'll be back at the festivals, etc. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes, definitely. Can't wait. I'm
desperate to go to Download next year, so if we're there, we're definitely going to come say hi.
Thank you.
We're just going to sneak up to you and go, we found you. So, Tom, have you got any more questions before we start wrapping up?
No, I'm all, like I said, just keep on with the good work and the incredible work that you do, keeping Sophie's name alive and being a true pioneer and inspiration to us all, Sylvia.
Thank you.
So just before we quickly wrap up, I did put a post on our social medias asking if anyone had any questions or comments they wanted to put towards you. And if you don't mind, I'll just read a couple of those out.
Okay.
So Gemma Williams says, firstly, Sylvia, you're an amazing and strong person to turn your horrendous situation into a positive one and try and help others have a better understanding. Sophie will be proud of your strength as an alternative girl. I was horrified by Sophie's death, and I'm so sorry for your loss. A quick question is, 14 years on, what improvements have you seen for acceptance and reduction in prejudice?
That's a really difficult one to answer. If you look at government statistics after Brexit in particular, there was a massive spike in cases hate crime reporting. We think that that's now subsided once again, but it still goes on a daily basis. I think it is getting easier. We do have comments from alternatives saying, I can now get on a bus without being frightened. So that's a step forward. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there, I think.
Absolutely.
Kev Miller says, my son and I met her at Download a few years ago. She was a lovely woman and insisted that my son had some fruit. Now age 15, he has proudly worn his Sophie patch ever since. I just thought it was a lovely comment.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Pauline Kerr asked the question that from a lot of us is, what can we all be doing to help you? Is that how can we help you grow the foundation and help you educate people? Please also let her know Sophie is not forgotten at all and what she's doing is amazing. Sophie's death broke my heart and what Sylvia is doing is the only way to make some sense of it all. So basically just saying, what can we all do to help?
Thank you. It's just about spreading the word, really. Keeping on our Facebook, keeping our support levels up. But it is really just about passing the word on. Or if you want to do any fundraising, that's even better. You can bake cakes and do nudes right around Hyde Park, whatever you like, go up a mountain, whatever. And you can always contact us through our website. And we do read them all, let me tell you.
That's amazing.
Leanne Victoria says the park that Sophie was killed in is just down the road from my house. So Sylvia has done lots of talks around here. She's a lovely lady and an excellent speaker. So there you go. One of my friends has met you before.
Thank you.
And the last one, which I thought was really nice, from Violet Autumn, she says, I just wanted to know that even the Gothic community in Canada are aware of her case and is still talked about regarding abuse and bullying today in our underground community. I'd like to thank her for continuing to talk about it and bringing awareness to the world, despite it being a very difficult topic.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
So there you go. Like I say, a friend of mine's in Canada and they know all about it over there as well. So, the work you're doing is spreading worldwide.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. I know my friend was in South Africa 2 years ago, actually, and she wasn't in any of the big townships, etc. And when she went into this shop, this woman said, "Oh, have you got a Sophie wristband on?" And my friend went, "Oh my God, yeah." So that was nice to hear as well.
Wow.
I know. Whoa.
That's beautiful.
It's got to be worldwide, or it's getting there at least.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like I said, we just keep spreading the message.
Yeah, absolutely.
And doing all the fundraising, like you say.
Yeah.
Keep sharing the pages, keep sharing the love, get it all out there. Let's really make a difference.
Absolutely, because we can if we stand together.
Exactly. And like I said 1,000 times in this interview, be fucking nice to each other.
Yeah, I do agree with that one. I do.
It doesn't take much.
It really doesn't actually.
Nothing happens to you. It's like, oh, it's nice to someone, and my leg fell off. Like, what's going on? But on a serious note, Sylvia, thank you for your time. Welcome. Thank you so much for sitting and chatting to us. We've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
It really has. Before we let you go, though, where can people find out all about the foundation on the internet, social medias, anything you want people to check out?
Right. No, I'm rubbish at this bit. Right? we are on Facebook, and I don't know, but just put Sophie Lancaster in, and foundation, and it comes up. So we've got quite a big Facebook presence. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, I'm sure she said, and obviously we've got a website as well, and you can contact us through the websites, etc. And they are read every day as emails. So, and we will get back to you. Might take us some time, but we do eventually get back. So, and it's nice to hear from people as well.
So I implore everyone to go. If you're feeling anything, just send a message. Send a message of love. Even if you just want to thank them for all the work they do, please go and send them some messages.
Yeah, absolutely.
And check the website out.
And also, do not forget to report any incident, any crime. If you think it's a hate crime, get it reported.
Absolutely.
That's a massive message.
Absolutely. Heard it from the woman herself there, guys.
Yep.
Heard from the alternative community's godmother.
Sylvia, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you at Download Festival next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we will. We'll find you.
Take care.
Goodbye, Sylvia. Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 Hi, I'm Frank Guglielmelli, and I'm the narrator for some wonderful audio dramas from Syscast, like Marty and Mars, Bounty Hunters, and a great part in Val Toby, with much more to come. You can find these programs on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, or head over to our website, www.syscast.com. We are excited to announce that we are now affiliated with the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.